What's going on, everybody? I hope you are having a great weekend. Hey, it is Friday, and I just got off work. So, gonna go hang out with the family, but I figured before I get there, I'll make a quick video. Let's talk about the retail part of pharmacy. As you guys know, you're gonna deal with a lot of patients, and for that, you're gonna need a lot of patience. They told me when I first got hired on that you're gonna need thick skin. I want to break this down into a few different categories that I think are important for you as you're thinking about possibly getting into the retail aspect or the environment of the retail portion of being a pharmacy. So where I'm at, our patients are great. They are pretty good, and they are very kind and cordial. And really, that's a huge part of what I do. I deal with customers and patients all day long, and so we're going to talk about what you actually get into as far as your discussion with them and your involvement with them. But right now, we're going to just talk about the environment and not so much the other little details or nuances. So, I would say probably 90% of our clientele, of our patients, are very kind and very cordial. They're normal people. They go to work. Well, I live in more of an area where we have an aged population. It's coming less and less like that, but as of right now, I would say the demographics probably more like in their 60s. Would be my guess. I don't know. I've now checked that, but that's my guess. A lot of retirees, a lot of people just they're on different prescriptions. But every once in a while, you're gonna get yourself a lemon. That's what it is. They're gonna be a grumpy cat, and they're gonna abuse you. They're gonna take it out on you for whatever reason. Okay. Are there things that happen that are caused by humans? Yes, absolutely. Are there things that are caused by software programs and people behind the scenes? Yeah, things that you didn't do that you had no control over. So we're going to talk about the customer like from their perspective later on. But right now we're talking about you as a person trying to be employed by a big retail store like Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, etc. But they're going to come in and you're going to get a scenario. Joe walks in and says, hey, I talked to somebody at your store and they told me that my prescription's going to be ready. And you said, what's the person's name? I don't know. You're just some dude. Well, that store may be filled with all girls. Maybe there's one guy there and you never talked to that person. Who knows, right? There might be 1,000 different variables, but... Or I talked to some girl named, I don't know, Maria. But Maria doesn't work at that store. They may have gone to a call center, and the call center told them something different than what you actually have in front of you. And that person swears up and down that you somehow messed up things up. Well, you didn't. But they don't know, they might not know the ins and outs of the pharmacy and how that works. So you are public enemy number one at that point, and they're going to abuse you for that. You have to remember, you don't ever take it personal, right? They don't know you. Maybe they do know you. You know, I think when you're working pharmacy and your interactions with people, you get to know people. And they could just be having a bad day. So you do your best to navigate through something like that. And again, we'll talk more about the nuances. The other one is that it could be a program issue, it could be a software issue, right? There was a glitch in the matrix somewhere. You have no control over that stuff. It's not your fault. The other part of it is that it's the doctor's fault or the prescriber's fault. I've read the situation plenty of times where a patient will come in looking for metformin or whatever, Well, my doctor called it in. Or maybe they're looking for an antibiotic. They just gave urgent care or the ER or whatever. They told me that they called it to this store. It's here. And you're looking and looking and looking. Nothing was sent in. Again, something that's not your fault. It was a human error. And sometimes it does take time for, even if it wasn't a human error and they sent it in, it just takes time to work itself out, right? Usually it's pretty fast, but sometimes a bird flew over the antenna and it blocked the signal. Who knows? But I've known a number of times where, in fact, a couple days ago, someone came in and was like, hey, they said they sent it. This particular person, and I'm always careful about even descriptions of people because this kind of a touchy subject with HIPAA laws and everything else, so I always want to be careful. But this particular individual came in and was like, I talked to the staff over there and they said it's ready. Well, they had come back like 4 times. This poor person, I felt so bad for them. And it was for their spouse. They're trying to get medicine for their spouse. And they said, man, I talked with them. So we got them on the phone. Sure enough, they never sent it. They never sent it. Thankfully, this person was very kind. But man, you get a grumpy cat, you get a lemon, and it's all your fault. It's not your fault. It's just something that happens. Now, the third part of it is your fault. You messed something up. And now they don't have the prescription, or it's going to be late, or something else. That happened. You made a mistake. And that's okay. I mean, right? We want to minimize mistakes, especially in the pharmacy world. But human error does happen. It's a reality that we have to live with. And there are protocols in place in which we try to minimize that, but it's going to happen. So learn from it. Don't beat yourself up too much. Learn from it, grow from it, move on. It's okay. But don't take it personal. If they verbally abuse you, talk about your mom, talk about your dog, talk about your cat, it's alright. Don't let it bother you. It's fine. You know, they got to live with that. Call your supervisor over, call your pharmacist over. Let them deal with it. But you know, kind words. You don't gotta be passive, but be kind and respond in a way that's honorable, of course. And then, yeah, have a way to vent that out. But don't take it personal. It's okay. If they become physically abusive, that's something that's a whole different story, right? Whatever your store and your policy and your team have worked through, you guys have to figure that out. That I can't help you with. So I did want to make this video about from your perspective to the other side of it. What do you do? And if you're not ready for someone, and it's funny because I think that we run scenarios in our head about people being abusive until you're there. And either you're in drive-through and the guy's giving you a hard time because his prescription's not in, or his wife. I've had people verbally abuse me. They use all kinds of words against me. It is what it is. Or they're at your counter and they're tripping out. You know? Again, I just think about this here. This is kind of a little longer video than I was hoping to make it, but it's fine. Because I'm just telling you what to expect if you're not in the game. If you're in the game already, you already know what I'm talking about, right? And maybe it's not for you, and that's okay too. It's not a big deal, right? If you feel like you get yourself very anxious or upset and you're gonna do something that's not good, get out while you can, or find out ways to be able to navigate through some of those feelings. Maybe you're going bitterness, work that out, right? You don't want to be a bitter person. It's not good. You'll end up like them. But one thing I want to keep in mind is that you don't know what they're going through. It's true. They could just be a bitter person. That's all they know, right? It's like, who hurt you growing up, right? Maybe mom and dad abused you. I have no idea. Maybe you're an orphan and you're in and out of the system. Don't know. Have no idea. But it could be that their wife just died. Their husband just died. Maybe they lost a child. We don't know what they're going through. All we know is they come up and they're just angry. For whatever reason. So, for me anyways, I try to keep that in the back of my mind. They're grumpy. It could be that they don't feel good. It could be that they don't feel good. They're dealing with chronic pain. Oh, and by the way, their dog just got ran over. That's a possibility. Or they could be a bitter person, and we never know why. But whatever it is, it always has to show some grace, right? I could become a lemon sometimes. I have been a bitter person. I've been angry before. So I am not above reproach, for sure. That doesn't excuse bad behavior. It doesn't. And I'm not trying to minimize bad behavior. Believe me, I'm not. I'm just saying that there should be some grace there. And bad behavior, we gotta address that too. But keep that in mind. Anyways, guys, if you're good in the fight, you're doing great. Keep it up. If you're not, think about these issues. You might have someone trip out on you, and you gotta be able to roll with the punches, especially if you're working for Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, those other stores like that. All right. All right, guys. I try to keep it under 5 minutes. I utterly fail. This is getting into 12-minute territory. Anyways, God bless. Take care, guys. Have a safe weekend, and we'll see you on the flip side. See ya.